point is, you put a crying baby in front of your face, and you can do something that you know, you can't tie your shoes correctly.
Can't remember your lines.
brain just goes, fritzes. You know, crying baby jams
because you rehearse time after time with a doll.
It's very quiet,
It's
very
quiet.
nice.
It does
everything
anything you want.
Really.
And then the baby comes in and starts screaming, and you don't remember a single line.
I had to go to 3 different places, buy 4 different kinds of formulas, 2 different kinds of diapers, bottles, towels.
Bill Harris in Hollywood, one of the big surprises of winter '87 and '88, is a hit comedy starring 3 men and a baby. Tom Selleck, Ted Danson, and Steve Guttenberg are the 3 men, and right now we meet 2 of them. 2 of the biggest stars of the small screen, talking about their big screen success and adventure, and other adventures as well. With all the comparisons being made among us all here, TV stars and movie stars and sex symbols and comedians, now, what are the odds that really we're talking to 2 jocks who just weren't good enough in basketball?
That's it.
You got us paid.
You got it.
Frustrated jock.
Yeah.
Have we ever just gone out in the hoops for a few times?
No, we threatened, though. Ted loves to play.
I know.
But I haven't played in about 4. I haven't really played seriously since I stuffed the basketball in the credits of Magnum, which is about...
Show off.
I was 40, but I haven't done it since. I don't know whether I can still do that.
Is this true, both of you shy nerds in high school?
I may be guilty of saying the actual term nerd. Yeah, I felt a little nerdy. I really related to Revenge of the Nerds. People say, how? But I couldn't ask a girl out. I'd think and rethink it and say, well, she'll say no, or she'll say this. I'll say this. So I'd have a whole relationship before I spoke to her, and it'd be over, and I'd be shunned, so I never said hi to begin with.
Well, Ted, you said the same thing in an interview. It was difficult.
Yeah, I went to a prep school, so I didn't even have a boys' school, so I didn't even know what the material you were supposed to be working with was. You know, I really had a problem. I hung out with, it was easier to play basketball than confront that almost.
Early days, modeling, commercials. I realize you said that you at one point regret, because they made so much money off it, that you were part of a cigarette campaign.
Yeah, I did a sale on that. Actually, only from a career standpoint, the still photography work I did was a bit of a hindrance, because I got started in the business acting and doing film commercials, and I was under contract to a studio, but about 8 years in, I wasn't doing that well, and my wife was a model, and I started getting requests from her book, because we had pictures together. So I did some still photography work, but what happened was, you just didn't do that if you could work as an actor, and I already had film as an actor. So anybody who didn't know my work, which was most of the universe, who then saw my pictures on billboards, said, well, that guy's a male model. And there were these stigmas attached, which aren't correct or proper, or should be attached, but, you know, he can't act, he probably has no brains, on to the next person. And so I only did that for about a year, kind of, after about 8 years in the business, and decided it wasn't too good if I wanted acting in my future.
In the history of your performances, you saw yourself on screen for the first time in the onion field and thought you might never work again?
Yes.
Why?
Because I did not look like Cary Grant. I think deep down in my heart, I was, you know, Cary. And I looked up there and I went, no.
Is that true? It was just looks. It was just the looks.
He was terrific in that film.
Yeah, yeah. No, it takes me about a year to see something I've been in. A year after the fact, for me to be able to watch the film and judge the film on its merits and not on my nose, you know, or something else.
But you like that film now?
Yeah, very much.
Now
so.
you're
I think
happy
it was
with
a very powerful, kind of raw film, absolutely.
When the two of you were going along at separate clips, but apart, in soap operas, 1.5 years and 2 years apiece in soaps.
I didn't know you did soap.
Hey, man.
See?
What'd
The
you
Doctors in Somerset, Young and the Restless. Right?
That's
right.
Young and Restless, it's true.
A couple of shallow guys who made good.
That's right.
You look back, what did you take out of that? You learned how to work hard and long, I
Panic,
suppose.
fear. Boy, I was
Yeah.
never scared ever again in a work situation as a result of soap operas.
I was never as
terrifying.
frightened. Because in those days, I think Ted must have done it about the same time, even though Young and Restless was taped, but it was taped live,
Yeah.
they didn't want to stop videotape for any reason. Because it was expensive.
Than fire you, you know.
And so they let you make terrible mistakes on the air. And they do countdowns in your dressing room, 5 minutes to air, 3 minutes to air.
Oh,
and
don't.
Your only priority as an actor becomes, what's my first line, at least for me. So it was great training from that point of view. Plus, I did the same scene for 1.5 years.
Yes, yes.
Because you never, I never signed a contract with them, and they didn't want to make me too important in the story.
Were you a good guy, bad guy?
I was a good guy, but
How
they
about a sleaze?
he was a sleazeball.
I was hired to be a good
I
guy,
wanted
but
to
I
be a
couldn't cut the
sleazeball.
mustard.
They
I
said he was
sweat
a
too much, so I
sleazeball.
became a sleaze.
So they never made me that important in the story. So every time I appeared, which was about 5 times a month, I'd have to say, hello, pretty lady, about 5 times. So major achievement for me was getting it cut down to 3 times of hello, pretty lady instead of 5.
Major achievement was getting it cut out altogether eventually. When, Ted, with Kate and Alexis in your life, the 2 prides and joys, can you give this man some advice on diapering? Did you know he'd do a good job on that scene?
Yeah, actually, he did. He was klutzy, about the right amount of klutzy, and terrified, and you know, it's.
But you diapered your baby first.
Yeah.
She came home for some time.
Yeah.
And how did you do the first time in real life?
Pretty well, actually.
Oh.
Yeah. No, I did pretty well, but I had a smaller, you know,
You had a day
thing
old.
to work with.
Yeah.
I had a day-old. Yeah, we're looking at a 6-month-old that does a lot different.
I had done it 19 years ago with my son, and it'd been a long time, but I drew on this well that Ted had no knowledge of. Cloth diapers.
Yes.
Ted doesn't know
They used to have little
diapers.
pieces of metal, you see, Ted.
Cloth.
Yeah, you
end
put the
up
pin in,
washing
you got to
out,
get
don't
your
you?
thumb in the way, so
What do
if
you
it
do
hits anything, it's your
afterwards?
thumb, not the baby.
What do you do
You
afterwards?
take
with cloth?
the diapers, it's full of poop,
Yeah.
you take it over the toilet,
Right.
and get most of it out,
Put it
but
in a
you
bucket.
put it somewhere.
Ah,
In a
all
bucket that smells so bad you don't want to know.
Yeah.
Never open the diaper bucket.
It's true. Did you find it hard to work in diapering the baby? Was it hard to work with the
No, I
snaps
never
and
worked with the
glue
disposables, and consequently I didn't have a lot of time to prepare for this picture. I had about a week after Magnum to get to Toronto. So I tried to stay as unprepared in that scene as I could, apart from the lines. The diapers I just hadn't seen. I'd seen people do it, but they're complicated, those little things with the tabs and all, and it helped me in the scene, not doing any practice.
When the news came that Leonard Nimoy was directing, did you both run out and see Star Trek film?
No, I called Ted.
Are you still going to do it?
Are you gonna do the picture? No, I'm still in it. I'm committed.
I was nervous. I was nervous.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know that much about Leonard, and I loved the movie, but I didn't know that much about him. And I think we all are die-hard fans.
He's hard to work for, though. You know
Deadpan.
why? Because
Why?
I mean, he's great to work for, except he doesn't come over to you. It was great. We're going on to the next shot. Wait till you see this on film. He just goes, fine, okay, let's go on. And you hoped you've done some good work, and you're on to something that you'll never get a second chance to do.
right.
Leonard's just not real effusive.
Which one of you got good at telling the babies apart? We know they're twins, of course. Michelle and Lisa right now would it be carried in? Could you tell one from the other?
Well, Michelle had a working problem in that she was more fascinated with the boom than us.
With the
And
microphone.
and you get in the scene with Michelle. She'd be up on all the paraphernalia.
And you try to position your face over the baby,
And
so it
Leonard
looked
says,
like
wait,
they were
she
looking
doesn't
at
look
you.
like she's looking at you. And he doesn't say that to Michelle. He says it to you. So you're trying to get her.
But how do you compensate for that? You're rehearsing with a dummy, with a doll, everything goes perfectly, you know all your lines, you're great.
Yeah.
And then they put a real, live little human.
Yeah, you don't compensate, which is what makes the film fun.
I came
and
to welcome it.
interesting.
You know, after you're threatened for a few days, it really is a nice...
Because
you know you're going to get great accidents, and if you're not afraid of them, you'll stay in your character, and better things will happen than you ever dreamed about.
Absolutely.
Jack, I would like to introduce you to your daughter, Mary.
No, wait a minute, you guys. You can't be sure that this is my kid. What the hell am I supposed to do with it?
We've put our lives on hold, Jack, taking care of this kid, and now it's your turn.
Okay, all right, fine. All right. Until I straighten this mess out, I'll take care of her. I mean, sure, why not? I'm an actor. I can do a father.
If you had found a baby on your doorstep when you were each a bachelor, what would it have done to your life in reality?
It would have changed my life, but I sure would have kept it.
I would have written a script about it and become famous. No, I don't know. What would I... Seriously?
Sure, I mean, it has happened to people in the past. Everything's
Has
based
it?
on reality or they wouldn't have had the film.
When I was a bachelor, oh, no. I don't think I would have been able to cut it.
So what are we supposed to do about this?
Pick it up.
You pick it up.
I'm not picking it up.
You found it.
Thank you, Michelle, or is it Lisa? And Tom Selleck and Ted Danson. Bill Harris in Hollywood. We'll talk again.
Non-stop entertainment 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This is Filmnet.